Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolfe Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? I recently tried P.F. Chang's chicken fried rice, which I was really looking forward to trying. But in the end, I was very disappointed. The chicken was normal frozen processed chicken, spongy 4-meat slurry concoctions. Overall, the meal just wasn't good. As a matter of fact, I didn't even rate it. So you, the people, suggested other P.F. Chang meals for me to try, and I listened and I bought a few more to try. The one we're going to try today is P.F. Chang's General Chang's Chicken. The 22-ounce P.F. Chang's General Chang's Chicken meal for two costs $7.49. Yes, I paid full price for this one. The fried rice meal I got on sale and I still felt ripped off. But with this being a meal for two for $7.49, if it's any good, that's a bargain. The General Chang's Chicken is battered chicken breast with a sweet chili sauce, broccoli, and red peppers. If this meal tastes half as good as it looks on the bag, we're in for a treat. Let's just hope that P.F. Chang's isn't catfishing us, the people. Philip Chang says, food tastes best when you keep the ingredients simple. And I couldn't agree more. These are restaurant-inspired dishes made with signature sauces with no preservatives, artificial flavors, or colors. Just like with the chicken fried rice, the ingredients seem very simple, and they are. But if you look at the ingredients in the chicken, you'll see a lot more ingredients than necessary. And when water is the second ingredient followed by a lot of flour and starches, that raises my eyebrows and makes me think that this is not whole muscle chicken, and rather 4-meat slurry nuggets. There's 2 servings per bag. Per serving, there's 370 calories, 12 grams of total fat, 3 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 40 milligrams of cholesterol, 880 milligrams of sodium, 48 grams of carbohydrates, 6 grams of fiber, 34 grams of sugars, and 18 grams of protein. I haven't talked a lot about sugars before, but wow, one serving of this meal has 62% of your recommended daily allowance. Is this dinner or dessert? The stovetop is the only recommended method for heating. The directions say to pour the contents of the bag into a non-stick skillet. There was no mention of adding oil to the skillet, so into a dry skillet it went. Those pieces of chicken look just like chicken nuggets, don't they? But what bothers me most is they have the nice golden brown breading that should somewhat be crisp when it's done, but once they're simmered in this sauce, there's not a chance they'll be crispy. Those brown pieces in there are the frozen sauce cubes, and their broccoli already doesn't look very promising. But we'll never know until we try it. So give it a quick mix with your heat on medium-high, then cover and cook for 8 minutes, stirring occasionally. After 4 minutes, remove the lid and give it a stir. And it was really smelling good at this point. That broccoli was going downhill fast. There's nothing I dislike more than mushy broccoli. It gives me the chills thinking about eating mushy broccoli. And this looks like it's already mushy after cooking for only 4 minutes of an 11 to 12 minute cook. But we'll see how it turns out. Put the lid back on and let it continue to cook for another 4 minutes. After cooking for 4 more minutes, for a total of 8 minutes, we're supposed to give it another stir. And then cook for another 3 to 4 minutes with the lid off. And then cook for another 3 to 4 minutes with the lid off until the sauce thickens. And I'll tell you what, the longer this cooks, and the more it reduces, the more it really looked like a meal for one versus a meal for two. But hopefully the taste will make up for it, and the old saying about quality being better than quantity is true. So after simmering for 3 minutes with the lid off, it was thick enough for me. There wouldn't be anything to eat the way it was shrinking down. So we took it off the heat and got it plated up. So here's our P.F. Chang's General Chang's Chicken plated up. And the floret parts of all the broccoli are basically gone, or they're really mushy, and we're just left with stems. And the sauce looks a little bit dark to me, almost like used motor oil. There's way too much sauce, at least for me. The Exxon Valdez spilled less oil than there is sauce on this plate. But I do have to say, it smelled incredible and my mouth was watering. So we went in for a piece of chicken. And it actually didn't look too bad at all. It kind of looked like a real piece of General Tso's chicken. Not to be confused with General Chang's chicken. So I popped it into my gullet. And right off the bat, I was very happily surprised with the sauce. Yes, it was sweet, probably too sweet, but it had a little bit of heat and saltiness to it that helped balance out the sweetness. The chicken itself, well, it was exactly what I thought it would be. Soggy on the outside, the inside was a little spongy but not horrible. Thankfully the sauce made it completely edible. Next I went in for a piece of broccoli. Next, reluctantly, I went in for a piece of broccoli. I knew before I even put it in my pie hole that I wasn't going to like it because it was going to be mushy. I'd never been more right in my life. The florets were absolutely disgusting. I usually don't mind eating broccoli stems, but for some reason, these were really tough and fibrous. So I went in for another piece of chicken to show you, the people, what the inside of it looked like. And you can definitely look at that and tell it's a 4-meat slurry concoction. Definitely not a piece of whole muscle chicken. And that was enough for me. So my wife was already mad at me, so I tried to win her back with my charm, and I gave her the rest. That'll teach her. So here's my final thoughts on P.F. Chang's General Chang's chicken. To sum it up, it wasn't very good at all. The broccoli was horrid, the florets were nothing but mush, and the stems were tough and fibrous. By the time the dish was done, the bell peppers were way overdone and only had skin left. The flesh part was nothing but mush, and the chicken was no different than any other frozen processed chicken. They were simply chicken nuggets, and expensive chicken nuggets. The outside was soggy, the inside was spongy, just not a good texture at all. But the sauce, which was pretty good, saved the chicken, and also saved P.F. Chang's General Chang's chicken from being unrateable. So with that said, and only because of the sauce, I'm going to give General Chang's chicken a 2 out of 10. Absolutely, definitely not worth $7.49, which is what I paid. Even when they're on sale, they're not worth what you're paying. You're paying for the name here. P.F. Chang's should be ashamed. Thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.